Hello everybody, and of course welcome back to another of Dickie's videos where no war game remains unplayed. Further ado, here we are again with Field of Glory 2, the Rise of Macedon tournament. This is of course round 2, and as you are seeing we are on the third video of the round, which is of course the overview, which we're about to do. If you're not clicking that like and subscribe button, why don't you do now? And let's recount the horrid gameplay. I did lose this game, of course. Problem is, guys, like I say in every video, I've used pikes. I don't know how to use pikes. So we fought. So as we could see here, we've got a good selection of pikes, a good selection of cavalry left and right. And I think I go a little bit too gun-ho here. And I think what happens is of course, the Persians out cavalry me here, and it turns into a right mess. So we're going to click play and then have a look, see how it goes. So this video is about 40 minutes long, which you've probably seen the last couple of days, or wherever you are in the world, you've seen it. I've got to say, yeah, just don't like pikes. Do not like pikes. That's my excuse, because I'm shocking with them. I don't know how to use them properly. And it's just because I think the quantity and quality kind of balance, I never normally get it right. So I think I hold in that right side. So we look at this Persian forces, and he played amazingly. And I think I only lost a couple of percent here. And I think I've had a couple of I actually lost both of these games actually for round 2 on the Persian side as well. When I think you've seen that as or before or after. So here we are. As you can see, lots of cavalry, and I just charged forward. I think hypothetically here I should have stopped a couple of turns back and just hold it off a little bit. It's got loads of lights. I thought, oh, the right side is going to be good for pushing there with his cavalry, but it's got a mixed line, which I think looking at it is brilliant. So I think we can actually zoom past to probably 12 minutes. Okay, let's just check where we can go. We can go a couple minutes into here, up to 8 minutes. Here we go. So as you can see, first initially, he is pulling to this left position here. He's attacking left here. And pulling my forces to that point, which is an issue. So this puts me in massive disadvantage, as you can see. So the fact is here we're trying to block with all our mediums, our heavies and mediums. So when you think about it, we're going to engage on the left side quicker than we are on the left's going to engage before the right, which is bad because all my pikes are not going to be used. And I think overall we lose by 15% in this game. So this is my first mistake, is I keep pushing out to try and zone of control here. I think on a logic step, I should have just holded back a couple of turns and tried to block all this cavalry with combined cavalry and infantry like him. And I think here I got a bit too zealous with the cavalry here. The fact is, because he outnumbers us probably he's got like 6-7 cavalry units to our 2 units on that left position, which is of course going to be a massive issue. And here we are now. I finally try and turn to get some reactive charges against him there, but still not particularly unawares. And this is probably where I fall down with these Macedonian, these Greek forces. I just don't get how to use pikes. Just I think maybe I should have gone a lot more mediums, or tried to bulk out the cavalry just a little bit more, or probably I think if with the current forces using here, just holding. So he's got a couple of massed archer units, which do quite well at shedding some of my light units to bits. And here we are turning around with the Thracians with Rompire, which are pretty good. But yeah, it's just my main issue, of course, here is the fact is I'm completely out-cavalried. And I think even with the expensive pike units, his cavalry evades, which is fantastic. And the problem is here that it evades, it will push off. And I think it's a couple of good charges against my citizen hoplites as well. But I think the main issue is that cavalry he's got loads of cavalry, and his cavalry can evade. And the fact is, me charging his cavalry makes my cavalry just run around, not doing anything. There we go. A couple of fallbacks, fragmenting, shedding, starting to pick off some of the Macedonian pikemen. But yeah, even I've got to get lucky here. Maybe it's just a slight unlucky here with thing, but I know, like I said, it's not particular. I'm going to have to practice at some pike armies. So here we are, the line, of course, moving down. We're at probably a couple of minutes into the game. I think we're probably 11 minutes at, probably 20 minutes of the game left here. Me trying to zone of control, use as much as possible. But I think I learned so much about looking back. Because my pike line didn't engage straight away. This is where I thought we're going to probably. And there we go. The pike unit, particularly unsupported when it pushed further to that left side, particularly bad. So we're going to skip ahead slightly to the 50-minute mark. I think I marked it down, which was a good thing to mark down. There we go. Yeah. So there we go. A couple of his cavalry units belting thing, and at the moment in time, I'm particularly scared here. I charged one of my cavalry units to the extreme right, but we are absolutely outnumbered here. And you can see his cavalry starting to actually envelop my left position. And of course, me trying to trap his pike, his cavalry in between my lines. But a couple of good charges there from his Iranian horses, which are fantastic units, being superior, and some of them are armed with bows. A cheeky rally there on the left side with his with his archers, and there as well. So not looking good, not looking good. He shredded one of my light units. I think that's the 4%. So I'm ready here to just push ahead with my pikes and just particularly hurt him. But there we go with the cavalry unit. No, I can do there. And yeah, it's going to turn. And there's a charge, flank. I think they actually come off worse here. Nope, but they're engaged now. Oof, rear attack. Not looking good. Fall back, which is good for me. So here we are. It's all open season here for the medium troops. Here's medium troops, the Talabaka Foot, I think they pronounce it. But you know what? The one thing I've not particularly done very well in all my Field of Glory 2 and medieval games is falling back. It works. It really does. If you're happy to take that cohesion check, and we just dropped the... So if you're happy to take that cohesion check and maybe pass it, there we go. Completely out-covered here. Pain train is coming home. As you can see, we're just trying to push back as far as we can. Pretty at the moment, I'm crapping myself a little bit here. Due to the fact he is just all over the shop. And we're trying to keep him in check here, and I can't particularly do it. So we try and charge with the Thracian rompires here. Massed archers. I'm not gonna get flanked here, but surprising they hold as they did there. I was very lucky there and indecisive. And there we are yet again, trying to get the zone of control. But as you can see here, completely out-cavalried on that left position. I think my first mistake particularly was the pikes on the right and the middle just should have been further together. It should, I think, more of a coherent force than just spread out like it is right now. Because it gives his cavalry, which is, like I said, it does advantage our cavalry. Because that's Iranian cavalry. It just holds. And I'd say it's slightly even better than my cavalry here. And there we go, just lined up. Particularly not happy where we are at the moment in time. Forces starting to fall all over the place. Ooh, bad days for Mr. York here. Pike, no friend. Pike is not my friend. There we go. And we do actually win that combat, but he holds firm. There's the break. This is the bad day. Whoo! And we're literally probably halfway through the game, and I've completely been surrounded on that left position. Completely. You know, it's kind of a very interesting mirror match with the Iranian forces, but yeah, completely. I should have had a combined force of cavalry and pikes. We do double fragment the... of course, the archers there, but to be honest with you, they're not worth particularly a massive amount of points in this game. So at the start here, I'm not feeling great. The performance I've had here is just shocking, and I have performed a lot better than this. There we go, trying to break the pikes, which we're then happy to break, which is fantastic, because then we're hoping for cohesion checks, but unfortunately everybody holds firm. His cavalry is just in the most best position ever. To be panicking here, trying to shoot them down here, not great. And all I can do is charge. But, unfortunately, charging, he evades. And this is it's slightly annoying because now the fact is I'm now charging independently. A mistake there, charging one pike unit against several other units that particularly can hold them down. There we go, trying to get the light, but rolling short, unfortunately. There we go, against the lights again. So we need to support, and I think the big thing I take from this game is, of course, just coherent forces, keeping that cavalry, keeping that infantry together, because as you can see here, the left position crumbled, his right, my left, and the fact is, yeah, it's not pretty. Okay, there we go. Keep pushing again. So yeah, we're probably halfway through the game. We're going to go to 30 minutes because I know it gets particularly interesting here. So here we are at 30 minutes. Of course, most of the cavalry has charged through to the rear. The only thing left standing is, of course, the expensive pike blocks. The issue, like I said, he swooped completely around that flank to hold us off, and now it's literally survival of the fittest. But like I said, the 2 points, his cavalry is quick and it evades. So every time I try and charge, and I think he gets a couple lucky charges against some citizen hoplite units. So yeah, we're particularly, as you can see, the only things particularly left here are the most expensive units of the thing. So I remember my pikes did get actually disordered through a drop in cohesion, where a routing unit. But this is the main issue here. So it's now probably me trying to save any face here, trying to hold off the Persians. And there we go, the evade again. But the problem is with charging them in, is the fact is they somehow get put into a better position by that. So charging the cavalry in, they just get in a better position. And here again, look at that, just into a more advantageous situation. Oh, excuse me. So, still not happy. We're charging away. We do get a cheeky rear attack, but of course, that attack probably leaves us more exposed in the rear. So, the fact is, we just got to hold off. So there we go, trying to form up with the pikes, but now he's got a couple of cheeky. He's going to have a couple of cheeky flanks soon. This combat in the middle is actually quite relevant. This combat here. The problem is he's in rough terrain, and what happens? We are pushed into there, which makes us moderately disordered. That was an issue which I didn't particularly realise was a bad thing. And I think actually he falls back, and then I become moderately disordered. So it's now in his advantage. So that was a little bit of bad luck. And this spends just, I think most of this game was me just chasing him around. I mean, I think I described this Persian list as a better Greek list because it has combinations of best things of the Iranian list, but also the slightly better things of the heavy foot of the Greek list. So there's a good mix of Persian Greek list here. But yeah, here we go. Now we're just trying to get points. But the problem is, I think looking again at the field, most of his points are, of course, in his cavalry, which I can't do anything about. I can murder the medium foot, well, ish. But yeah, here, desperate times, it is just a mess. It's like a battle royale at the moment. We're everywhere. And as you can see, I'm trying to gather in, but of course protect the flanks as we go. Again, the mediums try and take the rough terrain. The cavalry, disruption, brilliant. There we go, the flank. This is the lucky charge, I think it was. No, I remember him just dropping him quite well. But he's now attacked with most of his heavy foot and now retreating, supported by his cavalry. There we go, fall back. That's annoying as well because now, like I said, as soon as I charge that cavalry unit, it's just going to flee away again. So at the moment in time, 10 turns left. Ooh, particularly not happy. So more than 3/4 of the game done. We are now just trying to catch his cavalry here, but unfortunately under not fantastic here, and I'm just trying to catch him without getting attacked in the rear. There we go, good charge. Just only slight advantage, and of course here we've got the cavalry on the right, but also the left, and there's the evade again. Can't do anything about it, unfortunately. Now we're going to try and protect their rear. Good fragment there, which is brilliant. So particularly happy here. But like I said, looking at the list, the points are in his thing. So we're going to take the secondary and primary zone of control, bring the cavalry around to the rear, which I thought would be a good idea. Lights back into the rough terrain to stop hopefully being annihilated. But yeah, that combat in the centre where I fall on the rough terrain, I just had I had a Homer Simpson, a lucky rally in the rear. I think I lose this between 15%. I think there's a 15% loss by the end of this game. But like I said, particularly a couple of bad rolls, but of course, my overall tactics, poor performance. But like I said, probably my unfortunate lack of experience with pike armies. But you win some, you lose some, and you just got to enjoy the rolls and how it is. But I learnt a lot by watching this game over again. But like I said, it's cavalry. It's absolutely annoying. And it's an open field. Like I said, that was the lucky charge, actually. He charged into the heavy foot, auto broke, off the go, disrupting the Citizen Hoplites. Oh. So there we go. We're at 34. We're going to go on slip to the last 40 minutes because I think, to be honest, it's just hacking it up. So there we go. We're at 45-30 each. We are now down to the wire just trying to catch him. And I can't catch him anywhere we go on here. Gotta say, tricky list. I'd love to know below how people fared against this list because he can't destroy me utterly with my pikes. There we get a lucky disruption. But I think the drops that I felt I should have got on the charge against his medium foots didn't happen straight away because I've seen heavy foot drop quicker than the charges I've got against his medium foot. But here we go. Like I said, me trying to catch just not going to happen. The pikes are too slow. There's the break, which is fantastic for me there. And it's just now, I think I should have gone for more zone of control rather than trying to charge away at them and just kept them in the zone of control and tried to make him, fall back or do some manoeuvring. But like I said, I think his cavalry is slightly better than a lot of my noble cavalry. So this is the problem here. So we're coming up to 40 minutes. We're nearly finished. Where did he drop? He dropped something to get his points off. Light still in that rear. But a really fun battle. But like I said, it made me learn something about the Persians. And I've seen the Persians do this before. The fact is, the cavalry is just it's because there's the percent. That's the percent. It's the fact is that I've seen it done before. You see, the reason he was so disadvantaged was because I was in the rough terrain and I was monitoring disordered, and he's of course there. So there we go. Oh god, you sneaky bugger with that! I just hate that light cavalry charge. Hold firm. Where was the drop? Was it? I thought it was more than this. The 11%. I'm coming up to 42. Or does it end at 11? Oh, I think we run out of time. That's what it was. Yeah, we ran out of time here. So there was no indistinctive thing. So that's clear. I lost I think the Persian game was a little bit more. Yeah, I think we just ran out of time. I don't understand that. I thought we had more longer than this. Yeah, this is the end. This is where we ran out of time. Yeah, I remember this. So I think a couple of key errors. I'll just point them out here. Our line moved up to here. His cavalry, the block of cavalry there really did us because it swung around. And I did the most stupid thing ever, which was to try and zone and control it out. I think I should have kept a more coherent line here rather than push out here and here, which caused us all that upset. It was a really good game, and I've got to say my opponent played amazingly, and I'm glad he punished me for that mistake. But there we go. Remember, the points were in my pikes, the points were in his cavalry. The fact is I should have held a more coherent line of cavalry and infantry and lights. But there it is. Okay, so we'll be coming up with round 3 very soon. Click that like, subscribe button. Really enjoyed these overview videos. Punished, and I need to learn more pikes. Have a great day. Remember, stay humble, and have a great day, folks.